Hey, welcome back. We are now in our 8th video in the Pastor Q&A series. And this week our question is, how should a church navigate doctrinal change without division or fear? That's a big question. And I don't know that I have the right answer. I don't know that anybody has the right answer. Anytime a church changes the carpet in the sanctuary, there can be division. Right? Anytime a church makes any kind of change, there can be fear. What's going to happen? Where are we going? What are we doing? It can be a real roller coaster ride sometimes when changes are happening in a church. And I speak this from personal experience because, my theology has grown and changed over the years, even as a pastor. Our church has grown and changed over the years in my time here. We've not just changed the building. There's a whole different group in the sanctuary each week. And it's awesome because we're growing. We're not stagnant. Those sort of things can be encouraging. But when a church changes its doctrine or navigates that territory, it can be very divisive. And so I would say, first and foremost, how should a church navigate doctrinal change without division or fear? Extremely carefully and very lovingly and very patiently. I don't think it's fair to assume the congregation is all going to be on board with every single thing. I think a pastor should earn trust, first and foremost. I think the leadership needs to be ready and capable of explaining things. I know of a church in another state where they left their denomination, and people in the congregation were very nervous about this. And they voted to do it. They were willing to do it because they trusted their pastor. They trusted their leadership. And everything worked out well. Someone had asked the pastor, who's a friend of mine, and asked him, are we this kind of church now? Are we that kind of church? What are we? And his response was, well, I hope we're a biblical church, because that's what we wanted to do. That was the whole premise of doing this. And he was very good at sitting people down and explaining things. And just like the Q&A videos we're doing right now and the Q&A sessions we have at our church, we don't want to operate in silence or in shadow. We want to be open and discussing things. And we encourage people to ask questions here at Faith because we don't want to scare people or cause division. And if we're divided, let it be divided because of the right reasons. If someone says, well, hey, you're going that direction, I can't go that direction. My conviction won't let me. Okay, but can you understand that's the direction the church is going? And if you still want to attend, awesome. If not, I will help you find another church. I don't think it has to be ugly. It doesn't have to be drama and nonsense and things like that. It can be very bad. And I do know of another friend who they left their denomination and it did get ugly. He promised a lot of things and he openly admits, he made mistakes and left the church because it just ended up blowing up. So these things happen. And again, that's why I say lovingly, carefully. And if a pastor or leadership is saying, hey, we need to go in this direction because such and such, whatever reasons, whatever they are, you have to understand the people aren't going to know everything you're going to know. They're not reading the books you're reading. They're not watching the videos you're watching. They're not taking the classes you're taking. I'm speaking from personal experience here. So do it as patiently as you can. And again, I think leadership has to be clear. First and foremost, it's very scary in a lot of the things that have come out the past 6 months around certain ministries, what's being done behind closed doors to cover up sin in the churches. I think that's a cautionary tale for us, and we should want to operate in the light. We should want to be as transparent as we can be. Anyway, I hope all of this answers some of your questions. And if it doesn't, we hopefully can address them at another time. And we'll see you in the next video. God bless.